Greetings and salutations, Fantasy League of Ordinary Gentlemen. There's only one thing I really have to say to start off this Week 8 recap, and that is, fuck National Tight Ends Day. Don't like it. Not at all. Don't like it when the single worst statistical position this year decides to just have a field day. Okay, among many other things, it causes a problem. Things that shouldn't happen, even though I won my game, even though my tight end does go off. Not needed. Not needed, sir. Not needed, NFL. And not to mention all of the injuries that go into this. We thought it would end. We thought that it couldn't get worse. Maybe we need to stop saying that because it's getting worse. Here we are in Week 8, and players are dropping like flies. We almost anticipate, the roulette of injuries. Who's going to go down? So, as I said weeks ago, chaos in the NFL means chaos in fantasydom. It means chaos here in the Fantasy League of Ordinary Gentlemen. Before we cover said chaos, take a moment, like and subscribe. It really helps us out. We hope you're having a good time, whether this helps you out with your fantasy league, you're following along in our league just for the fun, and of course, members in our league, we appreciate you. So, find a secluded spot, I don't know, maybe morning, afternoon, evening, in the car, at home, at work. Hopefully you got something to drink, something to eat, and turn that volume up on your listening device and let the sultry sounds of the Commissioner Joe Johnson reverberate. And let's go ahead and start with our chaos here in the mid-season grind, Week 8, Game 1, and that is Brauc Hudgens. Technically, it was an upset, and Brauc, you defeat Joshua Johnson. It's not even close. 122-91. It's 2 wins a row. It is alive. Here we are. How fitting that the Frankenstein monster, maybe that's what you should change your name to, comes alive. Don't change your name. I hate that. Just saying, comes alive. And who knew? All you needed was to resurrect Tua. That's all the Dolphins needed. It's all you need. He doesn't have a particularly good day, but as a whole, this Dolphins 2.0 comes back to life in fine fashion. 2 wins in a row. It saves you. Unfortunately, it's much to your chagrin, Josh. You're still in it. You're not out. It's dangerous. You're in the danger zone, but you're not eliminated from anything. Brauc, you're saving your season right now. And this is why you don't give up. This is why you don't quit. This is why it doesn't matter what happens. You just keep going. You will find the grass on the other side. You will find the light at the end of the tunnel. Can you find the gold pot at the end of the rainbow? Brauc is showing us how. Let's break it down. Devon Chain obviously saves your day. Biggest point total, 26.7 points. And like I said, 2 and not a big day. Only 14 here. Jaylen Warren clearly is number 2 behind Najee Harris, who has reclaimed his role in that Steelers offense. Not a great day from Tyreek Hill, which is nice because you get the win without him, really. And then what did we talk about? We're going to talk about tight ends throughout this episode. And it's just tight ends doing crazy things. 21 points, 9 receptions, 124 yards. Between Devon Chain and Tony McBride, you put up basically half of Josh's points. And you started the people you would need to win this game, you started. So congratulations, Josh. Like I said, it does come at a loss, but you're not eliminated. You're in the lower end of the league, but still plenty of time and games to steal a low-end playoff seed. Things went your way. J.K. Dobbins has a great day. Jared Goff, 3 touchdowns, manageable, especially given the yards. But then the centerpiece of your team, Jordan Mason, and I had him in another league, and thank God he didn't cost me a loss here. But yeah, you re-aggravate this shoulder injury. Unfortunate. Amari Cooper, 1 reception for 3 yards. Woof. But then you pick up On a day you pick up Tyler Conklin off the waivers and he finds the end zone, just not going here for you. And then you think with Puka, what a crazy way to start this week, this past week with 18 points. I mean, you were, if you were Brauc, this was not what you wanted to see. Not a lot you would do. I think you made the right starts this week on your team. So just disappointing that the injury bug bites here and just a lack of production. But you're both still in this. So you're looking to bounce back, Josh, and find that W in week 9. But Brauc, it's 2 in a row. Can you make it 3 here in 2024? Game number 2 features he who will be forever unclean, that which shall not be named, Mr. Stinky. Evan Cole's taking on Chandler Taylor. And Evan, you do everything right. There's not a lot. There's only one thing I would have done differently here. It wouldn't have given you the win. You classically love the production, but you hate the outcome. And that is 119 points, but it wasn't enough to overcome Chandler Taylor, who drops 142 points, one of the highest scoring players in the league this week. And we'll start here. The first thing I want to say is I keep asking you, Evan, in the chat, and I'm gonna keep asking you until I actually see it and maybe just get an answer either way. But why, at this point in time, do you continue to start Patrick Mahomes? Baker Mayfield is the clear better play. I get that when we started the season, that's not the case. I get that's not how you drafted, but you have the number 2 overall quarterback on your team and you are wasting it. It is the reason you are sitting with the record you have. Now, I admit this game, at least Patrick Mahomes scores 18 points. And I get that 4 points is not going to make a difference, but in other games, 4 points makes a difference. And you still want to score the best you can. So for the love of God, man, start playing Patrick Mahomes. I cannot stress it enough. Josh Jacobs, though, ends up being your highest scoring player, 25 points. Najee Harris, we just talked about it, has clearly taken his job back. 16 points here. Justin Jefferson, the number 1 wide receiver in the league, 19 points. But then, Christian Watson, dangerous play. And, you're lucky you got the 7 points. Njoku, way to go. That's what I want to see. Start that guy. And there it is, 17 points. He is going to be a focal point for you moving forward. And then 4, 4, and 6 there from the flex down. I don't blame you for not playing, Charbonnet or anything. There's no way you could have made that call. I think other than the quarterback play, you did the right thing. Chandler just outbeat you. And I will say, Chandler, everything's happening for you in this game. Brock Purdy, 26 points, destroys Dallas. The score in that game, it does not really show how absolutely dominant San Francisco was. Bijan and David Montgomery combine for almost 40 points. Scary Terry has a great day, and if you combine Jalen Waddle, it's over 20 points between the two of them. Zach Ertz, look at this. Hits double digits. It's all that matters. 7 receptions for 77 yards. I told you, DeAndre Swift, another great game, and believe me, we're gonna talk about Washington and Chicago. Oh yeah, that's coming. Don't worry. Pittsburgh, 14 points. And Will Lutz, it was just a better showing from a very tough opponent. Way to get back to 500 here mid-season, Chandler. And you're still in this, Evan. Let's be honest. The poor decisions we've come to expect from you being such a shitty fantasy player, but you're putting together a better season than certain people here, and let's be honest, you haven't accepted any of Chandler's Diddy Party invitations. So more on that as we go on in week 9. But Chandler looking to keep it going in week 9, and Evan, you're right there, right in the middle of the pack. Lower end though. Got to find a win in week 9. Game 3 was another blowout. That was pretty much the case with all of our games this week. I feel that's almost the case every week. Just it doesn't matter who wins. It seems to be a blowout win. There was only one game that was even close this week. But like I said, this game not particularly close as Jack Little Raven falls to the Grand Wizard, and Forrest is night and day from the team he was at the beginning of the year. 137.6 points, and Forrest, if you clearly listening to this cast or somebody, because Jameis Winston and Cedric Tillman dominate this day together. They put up more points than Jack's entire team. Jack is just it is rough sales right now. You have dropped to the worst team in the league, 1-7, one more loss, and you will be officially eliminated from playoff contention. You are right where Brauc was literally 2 weeks ago, and so much just not panning out. And the only thing I think that is a bad play this week is the quarterback, and it really isn't. You have no idea. It's like Kirk Cousins just played well against Tampa Bay, so maybe do you gamble on that given your record? But then Jordan Love's got the matchup with Jacksonville, and what happens? Injury. It's not even your fault. I don't blame you at all for this. And then it's like no Travis Etienne, no DK Metcalf, no Antonio Gibson, no Rashid Shaheed. I get it, man, and it's a horrible time to be injured. But let me say, I'd rather be injured early and mid-season than late season. You can get healthy, you can get better, and winning towards the end of the year so much more important. So, although Jamar Chase, your only player who even hits the 20 levels, and again, Evan Ingram. Doing what tight ends do, it was single digits from every single player. And, I guess your tight end almost gets 10 points, but even your tight end doesn't. And the defense goes negative. It's a bad day at the office. This is one, be a goldfish, 3-minute memory, 2-minute memory, whatever. Just forget this game and put together a roster that's better in week 9. Forrest, we're not taking anything away from you in this game. It's a crazy win. It's a must-need win. You would be right where Jack is at, and he would be, obviously would love to be where you're at. But, you have put together a win. That's what you and Brauc are showing what you need to do, making those risky plays and getting a win. It's a resounding win, 137 points. We already talked about Jameis Winston and your flex play there. Aaron Jones and Tank Bigsby, not really great. But given the scoring of your team, all you needed them to do was hit double digits. Deebo Samuel, 12 points. Now, keep in mind, he's a little banged up here. Tank Dell, falls in the end zone, saves his day, but then it's, National Tight End Day. So when Cade Otton, you're thinking, man, I should have started Cade Otton, 29 points. There's just no way you could have made that call against Las Vegas, and you certainly made and I think the right choice. Travis Kelce, 10 receptions, 90 yards, and a touchdown. He's right there, 25 points. You're going to take that. Again, but just between your quarterback and your flex, you scored more than Jack. The 25 points is basically a third of that. It doesn't matter that Baltimore's defense zeroes out. Your kicker scores 12. It's a great week. More important, it's a huge win. You've got to keep it going into week 9. The blowout wins continue here in our game 4 as Derek Ash falls to Aaron Felch, who picks up a much-needed win, 87-127. Like I said, it's not even close. Unfortunately, Drake May, banged up, only gets 11 points. Still scores more than Anthony Richardson, though. So it ends up being the right choice. Derrick Henry, solid day. 14 points. There's people who are who would love 14 points in any of their RB positions. Brian Robinson, we talked about it, gets banged up in this one, only 8 points. Amon St. Brown and Malik Neighbors was combined for 20 points. Not what you're looking for from those two guys. Turd Ferguson, it's a funny hat, 8 points, one of the more normal tight end days. And still, I mean, 8 from a tight end, that's a great day in my opinion. McMillan, only 9 points, and just, clearly not, in complete sync here with Baker. There was a touchdown opportunity, missed in this game. So, I mean, we'd be having a little bit different conversation about him. But, 9 points from your flex isn't horrible. 8 from the defense, 4 from your kicker, and 87 points just is not enough to get you a win most weeks here in the Fantasy League of Ordinary Gentlemen. And unfortunately, a loss, but one you can absorb compared to some other teams. And Aaron, you knew you needed a big week and one where you are not outscored, sir. And this is just one of those, like, what do you do? I said, the only thing I told you, we messaged in the chat, the only thing I would have done different with your team is I'm not starting Michael Pittman. I think you did the right thing. Do not feel upset that you had Calvin Ridley on the bench. He's droppable going weeks before now, droppable in smaller leagues and in shallower leagues. Michael Pittman, again, with Anthony Richardson, this week you couldn't do it. But now, in week 9, here comes Joe Flacco. You can absolutely bring Pittman back. Downs is startable again. So the roller coaster that is Indianapolis continues. But I just want to point out real quick, I don't know why it took me so long to think about this. I mean, Anthony Richardson is 10 times worse than we thought he was. I did not know that the reason he went, and then of course I found out later, he was tired and needed to sit out someplace. I mean, what world are you living in, guy? I guarantee you one of the many reasons, other than the fact that he's horrible, that he lost his job. Watch a Super Bowl, takes 0 Cleveland to the playoffs, Joe Flacco, and learn something, guy. Not usable this week. Did not help you in this game. Thank God it didn't matter because your wide receivers were doing nothing for you here. Jalen Hurts is almost half. He basically is a third, a little over that of Derek's team here, 35 points. Joe Mixon, Tony Pollard, all together 37 points. You like to see that. Like I said, nothing from your wide receivers. Gesicki, what did I say? He's going to be a great play. He doesn't find the end zone, but still gets 7 for 73. That's double digits, man. Kyron Williams, all the running back work happening for you in this one. Aaron, 22 points. Doesn't matter that your defense goes 0 and your kicker 9. Like I said, I think you're going to start flexing Ladd McConkey. Be glad that Deontay Johnson didn't go to the Chargers, because I think you now have the pass catcher, especially if Quentin Johnson isn't going to play. Ladd McConkey looks just fantastic. So, big win, Aaron Felch in this game. Keep it going. And, Derek, I have no doubts that, this wasn't wholly on you. A lot of production, a little bit of injury, and I have no doubts that Mr. Consistency will be right back at it, whoever his opponent is, given week 9. Are you ready for the rant sesh, Fantasy League of Ordinary Gentlemen? I told you I was going to do it. Here it is, Game 5, featuring your commissioner, Joe Johnson, taking on defending champion Austin Allen. And what did I tell you, Austin? It ended in week 8, and it had to be. We should have been game of the week. We're the closest game, but I mean, Lord, I have to fight. I feel like I have to fight for everything, and it doesn't help that you're running into the culmination of the end of season 2 of my Pasta Padre college football league, online dynasty league, and I didn't do very well because of some CPU cheese, and so here's this, and then it's just like, okay, could I to just get a win, and my team is going off. I'm controlling the game all day, and then here, like we're getting towards the end of the afternoon, and I am just laying on the points. Everything's coming together. Jaden Daniels has 15. First of all, should we, all right, let's just start the rant. Here we go. Here we go. This is what y'all like. We like it when Joe gets angry and he rants. And even though it's genuine, feelings of frustration and anger, and it's genuine, we're just thinking it's ha funny. Well, guess what? You're gonna get your money's fucking worth today, boys and girls. Because let's understand something. The Jaden Daniels, gets traded. Let's go back to the trade, and I want to make it very, very clear, Jordan Payne, that yes, I said that I liked the trade more than co-commissioner Aaron Grog's trade rape of a rookie. Okay, yeah. Okay, and again, I just want to stress rookie, not meaning you're new to fantasy, just new to this league. That's all it means. We understand that Jonathan is a veteran fantasy player. He wouldn't make it in the league if that wasn't the case. So it boggles the mind even more the why you would trade away T. Higgins for Kareem Hunt, and then all to make it look like I'm pissing in the wind when I throw this out to everyone. What happens? T. Higgins doesn't even play, and Kareem Hunt scores 13 points. Okay, should have known the nonsense was starting then. But then I said, let me make it very clear, I still don't like the trade, and I never like when Jordan Payne trades, because if only for the base cause, I don't need him getting better. But do not tell me when you trade Jaden Daniels and Darnell Mooney with a 20% share of everything in Atlanta for Stephon Diggs and broke knees Nick Chubb. That's not collusion. Insert the league of, Ruxin saying collusion. My God. And what happens? And what happens to Joe Johnson? Jaden Daniels, who's got broken ribs, fractured ribs, fucked up ribs, whatever ribs problems, should not play. They are unwrapping. They are taking the wrap off of his abdomen, and he plays in the game. And what's happening? Having a horrible day. It's a bad day. This game is over. Chicago comes back down, falls in the end zone. They're going to win the game. Jaden Daniels, 6 points. I'm sitting here watching the game cast because, you've got Red Zone up. You've got the more important, games. I'm pretty sure I had the Broncos game on my tablet. So that's what I'm watching. So I'm watching the game feed. And here in the last 6 seconds have gone by. This is an awful long time. Well, sure enough, here it pops up so we can all watch it. With 6 seconds left in the game, the defender for Chicago sitting down there at the end, taunting the crowd, realizes, it's a Hail Mary, runs over, instead of batting the ball down, it's a Hail Mary. You bat the ball down. No, he does the absolute thing you'd never, ever do, which is tip the ball up. It becomes a tip drill, and look who's sitting in the end zone. But Noah Brown and Jaden Daniels goes from 15 points to 22 points, outscores Kyler Murray, and the effery is on. I should have known it wasn't going to be an easy day when Jahmyr Gibbs, Devonta Smith, and Darnell Mooney all basically score 20 points, and I got lucky. I mean, better lucky than good that Darnell Mooney actually has a stat correction that drops him 2 points. Holy moly. Okay, still 18 points might as well be 20 points, but here I am with a 17-point lead. Let's pause. Even after all the nonsense of, and thank God Saquon Barkley only had 100 yards. Could have been worse. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Okay. We talked about Devonta Smith, talked about Darnell Mooney, Javonte Williams, Aaron. I hope you can shut the fuck up now. Okay. Because, Javonte Williams gets his 9 points against Carolina. It was a 20-point day and he gets 9 points. That's why you trade him. Okay. So the revenge game doesn't go the way it should, thank God, okay? And I'm thinking, okay, it's fine. But here comes San Francisco and Dallas. Okay, we knew that it wasn't going to be. Dallas's defense is not good. We knew that we're probably going to hit these 15 points, but 6 receptions, 128 yards, and a touchdown. Mother huffer. What are we doing? You know what they're going to do. Double team the guy. Cover. I mean, there's just National Tight End Day baloney. I mean, I cannot believe that this even is this close. So I go from a 17-point lead to losing before the stat correction, losing by 14 points. So it's over a 20-point swing. It's a 24-point swing. Oh my God. What are we doing? What world is this? I have scored going into the game 129 points. You win on 129 points. I don't care that there are people who scored 119 points and they lost to Chandler who scored 140. I don't care. Don't care that it happens. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen to me. Okay? I mean, this is insanity. Insane. And in Austin, I don't get it. I don't get it. Other than collusion, nonsense. Okay. Oh my gosh. And then thank God, let's flip the script. Let's understand what's happening. Kyler Murray having a great day. 2 in a row, 22 points, 307 yards, 2 touchdowns. I mean, at one point in time, well into the afternoon, you had 1 touchdown. 1 touchdown, Austin. And then you end up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 motherfucking touchdowns. Holy shit. Okay, Jonathan Taylor, another 100-yard game, falls into the end zone. James Conner finds the end zone late. Marvin Harrison, after it's been so longing for what we've been needing, it's starting to show. 6 receptions, 111 yards, and a touchdown. Brian Thomas, before he goes out, 15 yards, and of course, it's another one of my wide receivers. It's everybody's wide receivers. I'm not trying to act like the lone stranger on injuries. We're all suffering, okay? All of us are suffering. Mark Andrews finally hits 5 receptions, over 5 targets for the first time in the 2024 season. Only 36 yards, but it finds the end zone, 15 points. Okay, so like I said, here's Kittle. This is a Kittle day. Kittle averages 15 points, but he scores damn near 10 more points than his average. Thank God Chase Brown finds the end zone against Philadelphia. I mean, the Kansas City defense holds for 10, but everything came down to the Monday Night Miracle. And boy, howdy, did you know that I had my terrible towel. And in the 1 quarter, I get 3 field goals. It's 9 points, but then it was a grind to get those last 3 points. And thank God, I mean, I got my 14. So even if I was down by the 2, if they didn't take the 2 points from Darnell Mooney, I still win the game. But they take the 2 points. The end field goal gives me the 2 points I need in case he misses one, so I'm covered. It guarantees the win. Austin, get off my dick. You got played by Final Boss. Get out, get the fuck off my lawn, and let's move on. And then there was one. Our last undefeated team takes out co-commissioner Aaron Grog 153 to 113. What I dub the 0 to Hero 2024 run for Brennan Scala continues. And you sit alone the top of the mountain, sir. 150 points is a big win. It's a big statement, especially when your opponent puts up 113 points. I mean, most likely you lose that week, just on the average. But you're putting up mean weeks, and in a week where you needed CeeDee Lamb to shine, he is your highest scoring player, almost 40 points, 13 receptions, 146 yards, 2 touchdowns in the loss, but 39.6 points. It's absolutely what you needed, and it even started before then. I mean, Lamar Jackson, we knew was going to have a good day here. 289 yards, 2 touchdowns, 24 points. James Cook has a huge day, over 100 yards, 2 touchdowns. Ramondre Stevens, at one point in time was listed as 0 projected points. But even against the Jets, I said taper expectation, taper nothing, 23.5 points. I guess we're just gonna force feed the ball. I mean, I just want to point out how bad Ramondre Stevens in this game has a total carry of, 20 carries. This is just on the ground for 48 yards. It's gross, but finds the end zone 2 times against the Jets. I really don't know how he did it. We already talked about CeeDee Lamb. It's a pedestrian day from Drake London. All Darnell Mooney here. Noah Fant, not one of the tight ends that goes off. George Pickens, it's a great day. He just needed the end zone, and he would have had the end zone. You would have had 159 points. You may have outscored. I have to go look and see what Chandler's 159 point week himself was. It would come down to decimals. But yeah, just got to get both feet, not just 1-2 times. San Francisco, the defense, and Brandon Aubrey, a pedestrian kicker day, 6 points. Not a lot you would have, I think, done different here. I mean, again, Downs will, I think, be a flex play, but a viable starter, now with Joe Flacco coming back. Yeah, I mean, it's exactly what you needed to happen to maintain dominance of the league. Aaron, it's not a horrible day. You had some players that worked out that I thought you should have benched, and not that I was wholly wrong. Unfortunately, you don't even get to use your new trade piece. T. Higgins unable to play in this game. So, again, out Nico Collins, out T. Higgins. When they come back, though, you're going to have a mean wide receiver core, especially if Garrett Wilson continues this kind of production. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe we're all wrong. Maybe Devonta Adams is really just hanging out with his best friend, and it will still be the Garrett Wilson show. Let's start with Joe Burrow. It's a pedestrian day, throws an interception, 12 points. Rashad White, even though he fumbles, still ends up with 15 points here. Alvin Kamara, no touchdown, lots of receiving work, though, 18 points. We already talked about Garrett Wilson, 5 receptions, 113 yards, 16 total fantasy points. Jerry Jeudy, it's night and day. The whole Cleveland offense looks night and day, and they knock off Baltimore. Can you believe it? So, yeah, I mean, maybe Jerry Jeudy is a little flex play moving forward here. 12 points in this game. Tucker Kraft finds the end zone again. I don't know if I would have played him. I really don't think so, given the matchup. I get it's Jacksonville, but, Sam Laporta getting Tennessee, why not? Now, Sam Laporta does end up having the better day, but it's been rough. So I understand the Tucker Kraft play, and he gets you another touchdown. So it pays off logically, and you're not going to complain, obviously, when they both score the same amount of points. Tyler Boyd, flex play, not good. Nothing happening here. Houston's defense, 10, and Young Hoku, the kicker, it's 113. You like the production. You don't like the outcome. And like I said, Brennan, you're on top of the mountain for now. We'll see how long it lasts. And, of course, co-commissioner looking to find a bounce-back W in week number 9. Much like our other games, the game of the week was a blowout. 19 points separated rookie Jonathan Andrews and Jordan Payne. But the important thing is that like many of the upper tier teams, they found a loss, which keeps the league close. And although I don't like Jordan getting a win, he definitely helps us all out. So it's a big win for Jordan and an upset. And finally, Jonathan shows that he is human after all and comes crashing back down to earth after these 140 point, totals here. Aaron Rodgers even has a great play with Aaron Rodgers, 17 points, but nothing happening. Breece Hall, Kenneth Walker, much like Jonathan's team himself, all come crashing back down to earth. 9, 8. I mean, the first, your wide receivers 1 and 2, RB 1 and 2, all do not even touch 10 points. Devonta Adams, D-Hop, it wasn't the magic start. And we understand, you've lost some people here, Jonathan. You were looking to fill some holes, but just not enough going here. Brock Bowers scores more than all of those guys, 10 points here. Kareem Hunt, we talked about it in the trade there, gets 13 points. This could have been a worse day. T. Higgins, you wouldn't have even had him. But then maybe, you would have had to play one of your bench players who actually end up having a decent day. It wouldn't have made a difference in this game, I'll point out. Denver's defense, 10, and Dicker the kicker, it's 92 points, usually not enough to get you a win. And Jordan, it's 113 points. Look at the difference. We just talked about, Aaron's team. He scored 113 points. You normally get a win. You just, production, just don't like the outcome. It happens when you get a win when your opponent doesn't score 150 points. So here you go. Remember that when you play me, okay? Aaron, happens to everybody, right? Okay. Josh Allen, 19 points. Would have had a little more if it wasn't for an interception. Chuba Hubbard and Nick Chubb. Man, I hope the trade was worth it. We got a lot more to talk about that trade in week 9, and the ramifications of it. But given what the production was and the outcome of the injury to Stephon Diggs, you're lucky you get a win. It's a really important win, Jordan, on a serious note. A.J. Brown, a normal day here. No touchdown, 5 receptions for 84 yards. Cooper Kupp, and again, much like Puka and Josh, you thought, oh man, we're starting the week off right. It goes your way here, and with that 16 points. National Tight End Day, motherfucker. Dalton Kincaid, 13 points here, falls in the end zone. And then we just talked about Stephon Diggs, season-ending injury. That trade really not going to pay off now. Collusion, motherfuckers. I'm just saying. But yes, it is unfortunate as you lose the number 6 wide receiver on the season. Up to this point, Detroit, 14, and your kicker, 10. It's enough to get you a win. Like I said, a very important win, Jordan. One that will save you because it might be a little rough moving forward. And with us entering 2 weeks before the trade deadline, might needing to make a move to replace that hole in your team. Not easily done after making a trade. Believe me, I know what I'm saying. But you picked up some momentum with this win. Keep it going in week 9. And Jonathan, I have no doubts that you will be bouncing back after this tough loss here in week 8. But there we go, guys. Let's bring up our standings after 2 months of fantasy football, if you can believe it. And I just want to point out, look 2 weeks ago. Don't even have to go back 2 weeks. Go back 1 week and look how just dynamic that we are changing their standings every week. And like I said, we'll start with our lone man at the top, 0 to hero, Brennan Dangerous Scala, who has now certified the first person to punch his ticket into the 2024 playoffs, guaranteed 8 wins. So congratulations on being the first team to make it into our playoffs. We know we will see. Brennan, you could lose every game until the end of the year. Doesn't matter. You are in. So congratulations. Austin falls 1 game short this week as your commissioner does everyone a favor and holds him to 7-1. But you remain our unanimous number 2. You would, both of you gentlemen, get the seed, or excuse me, get the bye for being the number 1 or 2 seed. Right behind him are lone 6-2, Jonathan Andrews, and then tied for that 4th position is myself and Derek Ash at 5-3. So you can see the 4 and 5 position we're sitting with 5 wins. If you're even going down as far as number 12 and 13 total, that's 3 wins, guys. 3 wins. We've got plenty of football left. And let's be honest, Jack, string together some wins like Forrest and Brauc, and you're back in it too, man. Like, this year is not done. tied up at the 6th seed area. Aaron Grog, Chandler Taylor, and Jordan Payne all at 500 with that 4-4 record, sitting, right there. You're sitting on the outside looking in, and one game right there. 2 games behind that just looking, all the way up to the 4th seed. 2 games, 3 games now. Aaron Felch, Evan Coles, both sitting at 3-5. Our 3 teams at 2-6. Forrest Dozier, Brauc Hudgens, and Joshua Johnson. So you guys have time. It's in the danger zone, but 2 games that you can give, but we need to start getting wins. We really need to start looking at our team. Is there something I can do to change what I've done? Now, if you're Forrest, maybe if you're Brauc, hey, you're healthy, you're happy. We don't need to make changes. We just need to keep winning. Josh and Jack, maybe I'm thinking we need to make a trade. And Jack, we'll talk about what you did, what you shouldn't have done tomorrow when we cover our Week 9 preview. But you're not out of it. It's 1-7. You're knocking on danger's door, but 1 loss and you're out, but you're still in. You're still in. You're still happening. You just got to pull a Brauc and Forrest and start winning some games, and everything can change. Like I said, just go back and look at the standings as we've gone by, and we're jostling, we're positioning, and we're getting to the point when we hit that playoff push here in one more, we've got 2 more weeks before that playoff push, and then it's really going to start getting interesting when it comes to wins and losses. So, guys, there we go. There's the Week 8 recap. I certainly appreciate you being here with me. Again, take a moment, like and subscribe, and join me tomorrow for our Week 9 preview. Take care. Peace out.